So, based on recent trends, we've been able to develop AI as the human race in basically countries like the USA, China, European countries like Germany. Yeah, all these countries are developing high tech technology, which at this rate will accelerate our what how should I say it? Our state of being, our species, it will improve because AI, what else? And quantum technology, yeah, where a computer can process a lot of information in barely a fraction of the time which current computers operate at. And also considering AI, you don't have to think of anything, you just ask the computer question and you get the answer. So that will leave us the task of thinking up of a sureway method. You can just look it up. And so that leaves for what? Just imagination to run in your mind. And they are trying to connect our brains to computers. So basically, you can have an avatar in the computer running as who you are in the real world, but in the cyber world. Yeah. So all these companies, even if they're not joined now, in the future, they will AI with quantum technology and quantum technology in the cyber world. And all this incorporated together will elevate our state of mind. Having imagination that is just running wild in a world where whatever you think of, it comes into fabrication because it's basically inside a computer, a digital world. You just have to put in a code and it's there. So yes, despite being detached, you won't actually be, since it's your actual mind that's running inside that world. But even when the time comes when you pass away, they still have that information, and so your grouping of data still exists, creating a mimic of who you are, and so lives on in that cyber world. So in such a connection where you're basically part of the internet, you tend to have an understanding of, not basically understanding, but access to all this information. And so you can try to understand using the quantum technology. You can be able to understand it easily since it's in the same machine, it's in the same program. So you can come to an understanding. And if you come to an understanding, then it's a sort of it's a standard. It becomes a standard, since depending on how many people are part of that internet, information on them can in some way be accessed. And if it's access to everyone who is in that particular program, they They'll have an understanding of each other, know who they are and everything. And if such becomes the norm in each and every individual who are currently alive, and say we collect enough data to reimagine those who were before us, our ancestors, and we are able to fabricate an idea of who they were, and so have them in a similar existence as us, will tend to have an understanding of each and every person, who they are, how they are, and where they are, I think. But yeah, actually. And so we can set a standard on everything, a common understanding. And so having this common understanding where there's no objection to anything, when if you try to look at someone and have an idea on who they are, there won't be any doubt about it. And so if right is right and wrong is wrong, like this a distinct boundary just because of a state standard. But since that state standard has a quite immense polarity to it, since there is no doubt on its what validity. Yes, everyone will be living by it. And so if you're called a good person, there is no doubt about it. And if you're called a bad person, there's no doubt about it. And if you're called an evil person, there's no doubt about it. Everyone will know everyone, and everything will be known to everything. At least that's in which is in the system. But considering the quantum technology is still improving, AI is also still improving, all these technologies are still improving. The data that we get, it won't be just what enough. It will be substantial. Yeah, because eventually that particular point will reach when still we can go beyond it, because at even that moment when there's no doubt on anything, still time will continue, and still we love to live by it, by that set law. And considering it might stay there that way from henceforth, and actually strengthen, becoming an even stronger fact, then it becomes a norm. And so one is considered good at a rate of almost eternity, and someone else is known as bad at a similar rate, and someone else is known as evil at that similar rate. So our life here on earth, it's barely a fraction of the entire known time to the human race, and still we take value in it. So how much more will that value grow when there seems to be no end. Because despite when there's more of what? A supply than demand. If there's more supply than demand, the value decreases. But in this case, having the idea that one day it might end, which, since we have no sure way about it, will continue on, then we have a lifetime which has been going on almost up to eternity, and we're still waiting for the end of it. Still, its worth goes up because we see losing it is such a tremendous loss.